Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to everybody. Hi, I'm Helmy Basri, your moderator for today, bringing you live the MPC CPN webinar series. Thank you to Tuan Nik Faizal, Deputy Director of Malaysia Productivity Corporation, Encik Mazwan Saleh, and Encik Shukri Hadafi for managing and organizing this session. Welcome to the MPC Chemical Productivity Nexus webinar June to August series 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, I would like to congratulate the attendees for having the courage to keep on learning, upgrading your knowledge and skills despite MCO4. Vaccines are in progress and hopefully it will be applied safely to create the herd immunity that we urgently need. Positive signs so far, and hope the number of cases will decrease. Please update your MySejahtera for the vaccination timeline. Keep it on track. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about multi-enzyme technology, the productivity booster for Malaysia during productivity. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has influenced the lifestyle and approach of people to their surroundings. COVID-19 is mainly transmitted by close contact and respiratory droplets, which are released when an infected person coughs, sneezes, talks, or even sings. With the current scenario, some strains are even airborne. It can also be spread through virus aerosols in the air under certain settings, such as enclosed environments which are poorly ventilated. Hence, it is critical to mitigate this risk by improving ventilation and air quality in indoor environments. Ladies and gentlemen, the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning or HVAC systems which are being used needs cleaning, and not only that, decontaminated. There are various ways of cleaning using acids or alkalines. However, believed to shorten the equipment's lifespan. Besides the draw in of airborne pollutants, which can lead to an outspread of adverse impact on human health, such as breathing difficulty, fatigue, pneumonia, and fever. Now, not only that, due to the airborne pollutant, food can also be infected by contamination. This can further prolong to high cost of medical bills and the condition of unfit for work. Enzyme technology has been widely applied in the industries, but many of us are not aware that it can be incorporated in our daily life as well. It is a safer and sustainable approach that is beneficial to our health, quality of life, indoor air quality, assets, equipment, energy efficiency, and the environment. The multi-enzyme technology has been the core business of the Aristech Group since 1990. Now, according to this group, this proprietary multi-enzyme technology brings nothing but the best for you and your life. So what exactly is the multi-enzyme technology and how does it work? How is it applied to our life? What are the equipments and facilities where this product can be applied in the chemical plants or industrial settings? Ladies and gentlemen, now let's go and get the answers from our speaker today. He is William Rodney Yeo, who is the Managing Director of the Aristech Group and a pioneer in multi-enzyme technology since 1990. And has been actively addressing the rapidly growing global problems and enhance indoor and outdoor air quality. He has provided high-end products, solutions, and protecting the different industries from contaminations and also infections. This has been provided through his services. Aristech has a track record in Malaysian scenario since 2002, with focus on HVAC, air conditioning, decontamination, and treatment. In 2011, through his competitive nature, Aristech was awarded the prestigious BioNexus status from Malaysian Biotech Corporation and now known as Malaysian Bioeconomy Development Corporation. With this R&D laboratory and manufacturing facilities were established in Malaysia for various enzyme technology. He has helmed the company with focus on products that are certified bio, green, eco, halal, and nano to replace conventional cleaning products and methodology. This is to ensure that Malaysian companies are capable and can be competitive worldwide. This mission is to provide a holistic approach for continuous sustainability developments to enhance human health, improve quality of life, prevent asset damage, energy and system efficiency, and last but not least, protecting water table and complementing the environment. William Rodney Yeo sits on the board of the Malaysian Australia Business Council, or MABC, as an executive council and chairman of the membership committee, which provides understanding, goodwill amongst Malaysian and Australian business communities and aims to provide information, develop contacts, facilitate interaction in enhancing trade and investments, opportunities, practices, and regulations. Hence, let's have a picture of what Aristec is through the video. Ladies and gentlemen, William Rodney Yeo, the floor is yours to take.
Thank you very much. All right. Yep. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are. Welcome to our webinar today. And our topic today will be the multi-enzyme, the productivity booster for Malaysia during the pandemic. Now, there will be 6 slots over here, which is introduction and the enzyme technology, the problems, the solutions, the indoor air quality productivity and COVID-19. And then, of course, we will be discussing about the sustainable development goals. To start off, we will do the introduction. Now, we are a life and environmental sciences company, and we complement science, innovation, and engineering with multi-enzymes for decontamination and treatment solutions to the global market. As you can see on your slides here, we've got 6 different problems that we can address. But today we'll be talking on the topic of HVAC, or air conditioning and refrigeration system, which is a very hot topic and problematic ones to address. Now we're talking about the multi-enzyme technology. Now what are enzymes? Actually, enzymes are in our mouth and in our stomachs and in our digestive systems. That's where we digest our food, because without enzymes, we cannot digest our food and there will be problems in our daily lives. They are not microorganisms, but they are biological catalysts, right? So they help to speed up chemical reactions, and they are safe to be consumed as well. Yeah. So most environmentally friendly and sustainable solutions, and is readily biodegradable and no association to aquatic toxicity. Now, when we say biodegradable and readily biodegradable, it's two different things. When we talk about biodegradability, it could be between 5, 10, 15, and 20 years. But when we talk about readily biodegradable, there's a time that the products, when it goes into the environment, it biodegrades and become toxic to the environment. So just for your info, our products actually is completely biodegradable within 28 days. I repeat, sorry, it's 89% within 28 days. So in other words, it's a very safe product for the environment, and it can help the environment tremendously. Yeah. And how do our substrates work? What happens is that the enzymes is like a lock and key. So the enzymes will go in with 4 different kinds. I mean, there are the different enzymes that we use. So each individual enzymes will do their own thing. Okay, now we're talking about enzymes. Enzymes are actually can be used across board. Like for example, industrial and household cleaning, which we're going to be focusing more on today. And then textiles, wastewater treatment, which we have been doing for the past maybe 30 years ago. And then pulp and paper, food and beverages, because our enzymes are food grade. So it can be made into juices or even meat and even baking breads. So our enzymes is a safe enzyme to be used. And it can be used in agriculture, pharmaceutical, and cosmetics as well. Now, why do we use multi-enzyme? Because it is highly effective and it is highly specific and avoid unwanted reaction. In other words, means it's very specific. Doesn't mean that one enzyme can do everything. There are a couple of enzymes that we need to tweak. Say, for example, emulation that we do. But if it's, say, for air conditioning cleaning, it's going to be different again. And if it's for facade, say we clean facades in a building, these enzymes will be different again. And also for washing of your clothing, so maybe if you want to use it in your dishwashing, these are all different enzymes. Doesn't mean one enzyme will work for all, yeah? And they speed up rate of reaction. So in other words, means what we are saying is that our enzymes work within 20 minutes. Whereas normal enzymes will take days or maybe weeks and months to actually activate and reduce the problems. But ours will actually work within 20 minutes. And then there will be less waste produced, which I will explain a little later on, and then create a safer working environment, because enzymes are so safe because it's in our body and our stomachs and our digestive system. Is green and eco-friendly. And enzymes are naturally present in our digestive system. They've been in our bodies for years and years and years. So it never harm you. Now, if it takes care of our body, why don't we use it to take care of our health, facilities, asset, equipment, and the environment? Now, what is the after effect of using enzyme technology? Firstly, when the multi-enzyme are used, it will become amino acids, or you produce amino acids. And then when it goes into the soils, it actually increases soil fertility, and then it stimulates healthier plant growth. And if it goes into the water table, so amino acids can be consumed by aquatic life as a dietary supplements. Sorry, I got a little bit of bad throat. So many conventional cleaning products in market environment, it seeps into the soil and persists in the environment for years. And that will actually contaminate our water. One day we use the water table water for drinking. It will be a hazardous problem. Now, the problems with indoor air quality and the HVAC maintenance effect and productivity. Bacteria, fungus, and mold and biofilms in HVAC systems. Now, we all may not know what biofilms are. But biofilms, in our common language, we call it jelly, which we always say, ada jelly, we just cuci, just clean it. But actually, it's much, much more than this. Biofilms are, they contain the bacteria, fungi, and mold, and they can proliferate. They can start growing, they continue to grow, and then they will lift off. So, and they love, dark and moist environment, especially in HVAC or air conditioning systems. Now, they prolong microbial growth will cause formation of biofilm. Biofilm is a reservoir for numerous microorganisms. It could be bacteria, fungal, mold, or it could be any other things, yeah? So as you can see on this diagram here, how biofilms attach not only to our HVAC system, but it could be your walls and your ceilings and where humidity is high. So first and foremost, the bacteria would attach. When it starts attaching, it would secrete a kind of biofilm formation, and then as you can see, then the growth number 2. So it becomes even more and more and more, and eventually it will disperse. When it disperses, doesn't mean that it's safe. When it disperses, it actually causes more problems, because depending on the dispersal, it could be from the air conditioning. That means this dispersal, all the bacteria, fungi, and mold will be coming out to our environment where we breathe. And if it's on a wall and a ceiling, of course, when they disperse, they become spores, and they could fly all over the place and start the regrowth of this bacteria, fungi, and mold. So it is important that we eliminate them from the source.
William, I'd like to ask a question.
Sure.
With regards to these bacteria, fungi, mold, and biofilm. Now,
Yes.
What is normally the life cycle or the cycle for this microbial growth in companies where they have these HVACs or pipes?
Okay, now biofilms grow.
Yeah.
Okay, biofilms grow within 4 days. Okay, and that's from our studies, yeah. And what happened is that when the biofilm grows, but you can't see them, it's just unfortunate you can't see them, and many people think that look, I can't see it, and in other words, there's no problem. But actually, it's not. It takes 4 days to grow biofilms to grow. Now, just to give you an example, if you've got a fish tank at home, you clean your fish tank, into the internal part of the fish tank, you clean it with whatever products you want to use, and then you put in water, you put your fish in. And after 4 days, you just have to touch the inner part of the glass, and you find some, slimy stuff that is being, attached. So that's biofilm, okay? And biofilms, depending on the situation, it can grow within 4 days, and it can, within a week, it can be really, really drastic. Yeah, does that answer your question, Mr. Helmy?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So as soon as it takes into that area, 4 days is already the period where it can start to grow. And
that's right.
create this microfilm.
Yes, and besides, it is important that you clean. When you clean it, we are removing the roots of these biofilms, because the biofilms will attach, and they are very, very strongly attached to each other, and it's very difficult for you to remove them. But later on, I will explain about how the enzyme technology will break them and remove them totally.
Thank you, William. So if there's any question from the participants or attendees, please feel free to do so by writing on the chat box or the Q&A box. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you. Now, biofilms, the universal problems. Now, biofilms is everywhere in our daily lives. It could be in our kitchens, our bathtubs, our bathrooms. And one thing I like to talk about is the cholesterol. I'm just trying to give a correlation, of what biofilms are. As you can see on this picture here, you've got a cholesterol buildup of your blood vessels. So just say, for example, if you need, say, 10 liters of blood to go through to your heart, so that your heart can function properly and you can breathe nicely. But what if biofilm grows or cholesterol grows on your blood vessels? So it reduces the blood from going into your heart. In other words, just now I was talking about 5 grams per liter. Now it's reduced to 2 grams per liter, which means you'll get a heart attack. So this is a very simple analogy that biofilms are very dangerous. But most of us, are not aware of it. So I hope this will be a kind of an eye-opener for all of you, yeah? And it does happen in drain pipes, even your home, your sinks, your wash basins and all that. So there are U-traps and all that. Those biofilms will continue to grow in the U-traps, yeah? And then on the top, on the left-hand corner here, you see that this is an air conditioning system, an air conditioning coil, which you see, these are all biofilms. And I'd like to reiterate that these biofilms are not just jelly, it is bacteria, fungi, and mold. Yeah, proliferation, and it keeps on growing. And on this, you can see a facade or a wall that has got all the mold growth and probably, algae growth and what have you, yeah? And on the third one here, you can see this is a pipe. With biofilms growing on it, and as you can see here, with the biofilms growing, they actually eat up the paint, because biofilms actually secrete a very acidic product. So it will eat up the paint, and then it will penetrate through and cause oxidization or corrosion to your system. Yeah. So we all know that biofilms are recognized to be a critical and hard to remove contamination. Chemicals or the normal conventional methods actually can remove the biofilms, but they also damage the substrates. But whereas enzymes are concerned, they break the bonds of the biofilm, or they digest the bonds of the biofilm, and then they allow it to be released without disturbing the substrate. Yeah. I'm going to show you about an air conditioning system or a HVAC system. This is a commercial HVAC system where in buildings, but all the system of air conditioning, whether it be a split unit in your home or it's a ceiling cassette, it works the same way. As you can see, the air is actually circulating around continuously. So as you can see on the red dots here, it could be the bacteria, fungi, and mold, which may start from here, and then it travels, and then it starts distributing, and then starts getting attached to all these areas of the air conditioning system. So we cannot change the air conditioning system. So what we can do is come up with a product that can actually help to improve the quality of life for humans. Now, this is the industry, what they call it, for Indoor Air Quality Act, which is 2010. It says health problems commonly associated with poor IAQ include allergic reactions, respiratory problems, eye irritation, sinus, bronchitis, and pneumonia. IAQ problems occur in buildings that are served by a mechanical ventilation and air conditioning, in bracket, either HVAC or MACVAC. It is the same thing. So including air-cooled split units as well. Now this is a little write-up in the year 2000, I think, which a doctor in her Facebook, she said about this, about pneumonia. So this is not what we say, but it's a doctor that actually say it, because it's a real life case. So a mother shared her experience where her child always gets sick with fever, cough, and breathing difficulties. After consultation with a pediatrician, her child was diagnosed with pneumonia, which could be caused by improperly maintained air conditioning, where dust and bacteria reside and accumulate in the system. So it is important that your system, your air conditioning system is taken care of, because there are many other problems that can arise, not only pneumonia. Yeah. Now, as you can see here, the two problems that everybody is encountering actually. The first one is improper maintenance. So when you talk about improper maintenance, then you're talking about dust, bacteria, fungi, and mold growth. So what does it do? It creates bad indoor air quality. It reduces system efficiency, thereby not good for human health, discomfort, system failure, an increase in electricity bill, and last but not least, reduce productivity, time, and cost for repairing. And on situation 2, it's the same thing, but you're using conventional methods of cleaning. Now, conventional products, there are 4 or 3 different kinds of cleaning regime that is being used presently throughout the world, but I don't want to mention what they are. I just want to talk about the enzyme-based product, which actually goes to the source of the problem. So by using the conventional cleaning, it's hazardous to applicators and occupants. Imagine the applicators are doing the work and they are cleaning the air conditioning, and they are breathing in, chemicals or conventional products, which is not good for their health. Yeah. So, and cause damage and reduce the efficiency. Causing damage means with conventional cleaning, it can actually destroy the substrates, whichever it is. It could be metal, it could be wood, it could be marble, it could be plastic, right? But enzymes does not cause any problems to any of these substrates. So it can be used anywhere. And it doesn't...
William, out of curiosity, what actually would be the type of chemicals which is hazardous when being used as cleaners for the HVAC system?
Okay, universally now, everybody uses either acid or alkaline. So acid and alkaline, actually, they are extremes. So acid, normally when they use the acid, you'll be around between pH 1 to 3. Then alkaline would be something like 11 to 13. And our enzymes actually is between 6 to 8 pH. So that's why it's safe. Does that answer your question, Mr. Helmy? Mr. Helmy?
The damage caused to the parts can also be because of these acids and alkaline being used, besides the health concern of the low pH or the high pH.
Yes, I will go through that a little bit later, but since you asked me that question, then I just like to talk a little bit about it. Now, when you put in you put chemicals or acid and alkaline in the system, you really have to flush it rigorously, because if any of those remain in the system, I mean, it will, protrude back to the environment when you turn the system on. Okay, number one. Number two, when you actually, the products that you use will actually destroy the components of the system. It will make the fins become thinner, and then either it breaks off or it's softened. And that will actually hold on to more bacteria or biofilms within the system, which the normal cleaning cannot remove. So when you cannot remove the bacteria, fungi, and mold, or the biofilms within the system because it's already bent, then, no matter how you clean it, you will never remove the biofilms. And then you will continue to grow, and then you will come out to our environment. And of course, having said that, your energy bill will go up as well. And when bacteria, fungi, and mold grows, I mean, it's going to come out to our environment on a continuous basis. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Now, I think we have destroyed the water table and environment for many, many decades by using conventional products, and it's high time for us to reverse it and come up with a safer products that can actually enhance our health and our future generations. We may not care about this amongst ourselves, but let us think about our children and our grandchildren for the future. Now, the sustainable solution using multi-enzyme technology. Okay, what is multi-enzyme technology? As you can see here, it is scientifically proven to remove biofilm effectively, sustainable and environmentally friendly, work in mild condition, safe for applicators, occupants, assets, equipment, and environment. Now, these are two pictures here you see here, which has been, documented. On this left picture here, you can see that the biofilms are growing, right? So when the biofilms are growing, it actually holds all the contamination. As you can see, these are all the contaminations here. And biofilms are very sticky, so they will catch hold of everything. And they will not allow it to be, disposed. So what happens is that when we put our enzymes in to the substrate, okay, you can see that the biofilm bonds are actually dissolved. When the biofilm forms are dissolved, you can see all these substrates, all these contamination is not being held by the biofilms. So it can be removed easily by just, a short flushing, and everything will be removed because it's not being, bonded by the biofilms. Yeah. And again, as I said, the enzymes are pH neutral between 6 to 8, is non-corrosive, and then it protects the environment and assets, improve indoor air quality, improve system and energy efficiency, is readily biodegradable, and it protects the water table and the environment. Now, we use 4 different kinds of enzymes in our business. Okay, so we've got enzyme 1. These are all proprietary, of course. So we've got enzyme 1, enzyme 2, enzyme 3, enzyme 4. They all comply with Food Chemical Codex standards for food enzymes. So in my earlier slide, I was saying that our enzymes are food grade. So we are using the same enzymes for what we do now in the decontamination. And as you can see, the enzyme activity is very high because we have got real good concentrations of the enzymes, and is derived from non-GMO or GRAS. GRAS means generally recognized as safe. And they work at pH 6 to 8. And our product is considered bio, green, eco, halal, and kosher if needed for different countries. I think the Muslims would prefer the halal certifications, where we do have the halal certifications for our product presently. And our products are non-genetically modified nanoparticles. So in other words, means our enzyme products are originally nanoparticles of less than 10 nano size. Yeah, it's good for deep penetration because in HVAC systems or in certain areas where you need deep penetration to remove the roots of the bacteria, fungal, or mold that is embedded in the substrate. It could be, say, like for example, a toilet. A toilet where they use chemicals every day, but as you can see, the smell still remains after cleaning. In other words, what we are saying is that because it has not penetrated into the porous substrates to penetrate in and remove the roots or the contamination, so that it's eliminating the smell as well. Yeah, and is readily biodegradable, as what we have explained earlier. And our proprietary multi-enzyme solutions are encapsulated and will be activated once we put in a certain amount of water, because enzymes will activate with moisture. And there's moisture, it can activate and then it can be dormant. It's not going to work anymore. So enzymes is a very, very a special breed of products to be used. Yeah.
So William, with the neutral pH that works for the enzyme,
Yes.
right? The enzyme works, and also the halal of sources being used for this enzyme. What is generally the public acceptance of multi-enzyme so far?
Well, I think the public acceptance is getting better because, especially in the Western countries, they have done a lot of studies on this, and they understand that by using a biogreen or enzymes, it is actually good for them and also for their country. We are yet to share our experiences in Malaysia and the ASEAN countries to see how we can make them change their mindsets, because it is not easy, because many people are quite happy with what they have been doing, and it's a norm for them for so many years, and I think they are happy to stick to where they are. So I think education will be very, very important for us, and we hope that the government will also help us, or the agencies will help us to share all these kind of good deeds that everyone can use. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So now I'll talk about our multi-enzyme nanoparticles and how they remove the biofilm. As you can see, this is the first slide. It shows that the bacteria, fungal, mold, and fungus and all that is growing on a substrate. Yeah. And what happens is, by doing that, then you have what we call a film that actually protects this bacteria, fungi, and mold. And they continue to grow because nothing else can actually kill them because of this protecting layer. So they are very happy and they thrive in there, and they keep on multiplying continuously. From 100 count, they can go up to 1,000,000 count of bacteria, fungi, and mold. So what happens is that the top here, we are putting in our enzyme technology, the nano enzyme BMED, where we apply it onto the biofilms. Okay, so you can see that the enzyme actually penetrates onto the biofilm, right? And it actually breaks the biofilm, or it digests the biofilm. Right? When it digests the biofilm, that means the enzymes can go in and actually eradicate them or retard them. to move them and to break them up into smaller pieces. I would say like the enzymes can break them into millions of pieces so that it can be easily removed. As you can see, the enzymes, the biofilms are no more there. And now, and there's to substrates. When I talk about substrates, I'm talking about all sorts of substrates. It could be wood, metal, it could be plastics, rubber. It could be anything that it does not damage it, but it removes the biofilm. Unlike the other products that they use, they may actually disturb the substrates or maybe cause problems to the substrates in the near future. Now, I would like to talk a little bit about the benefits of what the enzymes can do actually. So number one is we can enhance human health and improve quality of life because it prevents cross-contamination. Cross-contamination means, it's moving from one to another place. And it reduces sick building syndrome and building-related illnesses. And then it can maintain system efficiency, reduces energy consumption up to 10%. And it can reduce medical bills, absenteeism, improve staff morale. And of course, savings on expensive repairs, parts replacement, and also downtime. Because when you are doing part replacement, that means the system is not would not be able to work until you have done the replacement. And then it prevents asset damage, prolong your equipment life because it's a pH 6 to 8 product. And then extended maintenance means reducing accidents. What I'm trying to say to you here is that if you drive a car once a year, that means your accident rates is only once a year. But if you drive 50 times a year, that means your accident rate is actually 50 times possible. So what we are saying that if we can do an extension of maintenance for whatever systems that you have, that will reduce accidents. And I think that is prosperity. Yeah, because health is so important, not only to us, but to the people that is taking care of these equipments for us to enjoy life. And staff better utilized, which means that, you don't have to get your staff to continuously do the maintenance there. If you can do it, say, once a year, your staff can better utilize in other areas. And increase productivity, because, if the lengthy part of it is the services and also the maintenance, yeah? And then it actually protects your product yield and shelf life of exposed food, beverages, and equipment. Now, I don't want to scare you, all of you, with regards to your food. But you imagine if you've got an air conditioning here and you are eating here, and if your air conditioning has got biofilms or bacteria, fungi, and mold, it's continuously coming out to the environment. You may be taking in a lot of bacteria, fungi, and mold. But having said that, most of you will say, hey, look, I've been in the aircon environment for the past 20 years and nothing's wrong with me. Don't take it for granted. Remember we talked about the COVID-19? Nobody thought that it's going to come. But it is here. So in other words, what I'm saying is that the bacteria, fungi, and mold from your air conditioning could be detrimental to anyone, not in one day, not in 2 days, not in 1 month, not in 1 year, but it could be accumulative. And when the time comes, I think it's too late. Because I think the stages that you are in will be kind of, to the very max, yeah? So I think housekeeping is very important. So please don't take it as a scare tactic, but it is the truth, right? And it's non-toxic to aqua, eco-agri system, water table, environmentally friendly and biodegradable. And last but not least is certified, proven by relevant authorities, and recommended by industries.
William, just now during the video, there's a caption saying from pyramid to diamond.
Yes.
What does it symbolize? Is it related to the benefits?
Okay. I think the pyramid, as you can see, the pyramid right at the top of the pyramid is only a red little dot. So everybody perceives that the products is only, contributing in a very small proportion of the entire universe and society. So what we are trying to tell everybody is from the pyramid, it becomes a diamond. In other words, means we are giving you much more, like what I've said here. I mean, just by cleaning your air conditioning, this is what you can get. So in other words, means what I'm saying is that it's pyramid. Everybody thinks that, it's a small little company that, does cleaning of air conditioning or cleaning of this or cleaning of that. But actually the benefits that you're going to be getting is tremendous and money cannot buy it. So we want to make sure that people's perception are different. Not only thinking that, it's only a cleaning company, all right, or a cleaning agent. Does that answer your question, Mr. Helmy?
Yes, interesting.
Yeah. So it's a domino effect, people think differently, but actually a small thing can make it into a very, very big thing for everybody. Yeah. Really, I cannot move. Give me a minute. Okay. So the areas of applications. So just now we were talking about our enzyme technology. Now the enzyme technology is can be used across board. Actually, everywhere that you think. Like earlier I said, it could be your kitchens, it could be your sinks, your wash basins, and kitchens and hospitals, even antennas. We have done the antennas, as you can see in this picture here, where we have cleaned the antenna. A very big one with scaffolding and all that. And then we can do facade cleaning as well for oil and gas, because oil and gas, I think the sectors, I do not want to go into detail because there are so many things that we can do for all these areas. It could be for trains, abattoirs, ships, cars, buses, food court, refrigeration, cold rooms, food and beverage processing area, drain lines, toilets, cooling towers, surgical instruments. Because like I said, surgical instruments are something that we can do because our products are either food grade or pharmaceutical grade, right? So that's where, all these important elements that, we can share and can complement instead of using the conventional methods, yeah? And for logistic containers, especially if it's a halal container that needs to be cleaned before they actually put goods into the containers for shipping. And then it could be for walkways and equipment for degreasers and coal trucks and of course aircraft. And pharmaceutical, we are talking now to include our enzymes into some of the capsules for well-being, and also it can be used for household and cosmetics as well. Yeah.
So where will, if I'm talking about the smaller industries, for the SMEs or for the micro operators or for the smaller companies which are operating their operations and processes like clinics or maybe shops, that what you've mentioned just now, or even for household use, where actually can they get these products and what would the price be? Right?
Yeah. Okay. I think we have not actually rolled out for this to be sold in the market yet, because we have got some problems with the usage without proper supervision. But after having said that, we would look for, applicators, train them, and if we think that they can, follow our SOPs and our guidelines, we will definitely get them to be part of our team. Talking about price, I think the price comparatively to the conventional cleaning is actually non-significant. If I were to give you an example, that if you use, say, 10 ringgit to do a conventional cleaning, by using our product, probably you may have to pay maybe 15 ringgit. But the rest of it are all fixed costs. How they charge the customers, that is, is individually, what they do is individual. Example, just an example, but please do not quote me, all right? Say if you do an air conditioning, it may cost you, say, 1,000 ringgit for a HVAC system. And if, I'm saying if, don't quote me please, I said that if the chemicals is only 200 ringgit, now our product may be 300 ringgit. That's what I'm saying. So actually it is not, it's not really an important factor on numbers, yeah? Okay, so Helmy?
Yes, in other words, it will reduce maintenance costs in the long run.
That's right.
As compared to using the chemicals.
Exactly.
While this enzyme can stop the process of deterioration of the parts from getting worse.
That's right. Yes. Because when they deteriorate, that means your energy bill will go up. Don't forget that, because it's not working to design anymore. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I might have to buy another aircon after 2 or 3 years.
Not 2, 3 years, but maybe 5, 7, maybe 9 years. Maybe, but if you start using this sort of products, then you can go up to 15 years without worrying about without worrying about the degradation of your aircon. Yeah?
That's great.
Yeah.
And will the multi-enzymes be different for each application according to the picture that you showed just now?
Yes. As I said earlier, not one enzyme can do all, because in different applications you have got different kind of problems, right? So we really have to know, but we already know, because we know that for abattoirs, we know what are the problems there, what are the contamination and what are the substrates that goes into, that is involved, so that we already have the concoction for, all these things. Like a food processing plant, there's a lot of grease, where air conditioning may not have that kind of grease, so you can't be using both of them, in the same place. So it is a special concoction, actually, yeah. Now, indoor air quality, yeah, thank you. Indoor air quality, productivity, and COVID-19. Now, this is a very interesting slide here. Now, we're talking about the relevant authorities talking about this coronavirus and the ventilation, air conditioning, and all that. Okay. Now, no one has ever thought that the COVID-19 would strike the entire universe. Now, this is a lesson we will never forget and great time to ponder on our way forward in life. While we were exhibiting in Tokyo, end of January 2020, during the earliest year of pandemic, but upon arriving back in Malaysia, our R&D team scrambled to extend our already novel technology. We have not only biocidal, but include virucidal properties as well. Now, I'm coming back to this slide again. So people are talking about it. The relevant authorities like Dr. Adiba, just only very recently, I think she mentioned this last week, and she said that Malaysia needs clear guidelines on the ventilation system in buildings, as cleaner indoor air quality could curb the spread of the coronavirus. by the World Health Organization. And Professor Dr. Adiba is the Science Council member and infectious disease expert in Malaysia. And another issue here on volume 20 here on the 10th of August 2020, it says act now before it's too late. Poor indoor air quality or poor indoor air ventilation. This picture here, this is the AHU or the air conditioning system. This is a split unit where your home and are offices, and this is the ventilation system. So it is important that we take care of all these to make sure that our lives are prevented from getting the virus. What I want to say is, I'm not telling you that by using the enzyme product you will kill coronavirus. I did not say that. But what I'm saying is that if your immune system, say for example now, we all know that bacteria, fungi, and mold actually resides within the air conditioning system and is coming out continuously every day. So what happens is that these biofilms actually comprises of bacteria, fungi, and mold. They will continuously come out into our environment. Okay, and we get sick. Maybe flu, we get fever, or we get pneumonia. So by having this happening to us, it means that our immune system is down. And I would like to reiterate a little bit again. Say, for example, we have got 5 people in a room. I am the only one who gets the coronavirus or the Delta virus or whatever variant. But my other colleagues, the 4 of them, is not affected. So what does that tell you? That tells you that my immune system was not good. Whereas the other 4 of my colleagues, younger, so they don't get infected. But only me. So what I'm saying is, your immune system is important. And of course, how your immune system is important is make sure that the ventilation, your air conditioning is clean so that there is no bacteria, fungi, and mold coming out into the environment, which I explained earlier. Right? So not only air conditioning, I'm talking about even your housekeeping in your house. Right? So your kitchens and all that, because if the kitchens is wet, your bathrooms are wet, bacteria, fungi, and mold could be growing anywhere. And then, when you're sitting there and the spores may just fly and then we breathe in and then, our immune system is actually compromised. So that's where the coronavirus or the COVID-19, even COVID-20 in future, hopefully it doesn't happen. It's just a joke, but it's not a joke. I should not be joking about this now, but it's not a joke. It is very, very important that we do proper housekeeping. Yeah. And okay, so now we are talking about about the combination of issues which affects everyone. Say the community, the corporate sectors. So for these 2 sectors, we're talking about number 1, responsibility. Responsibility means if I'm the owner of the business and I've got an office to run, I've got to make sure that my people are protected. Okay, in whichever way. It doesn't matter whether it's air conditioning or now the COVID-19 is here to spray them and to do whatever that they're supposed to do. And financially is a problem as well. I think we all know that financially now everyone is in a downturn because of the COVID-19 or the pandemic. And then risk management to everyone in the building, to our assets, and then the asset management, where we would, cause problems to our assets, and we will spend more money. And politically significant, which I don't want to talk a little bit about this, but I think we all understand that political significance is important, yeah. And then environmental responsibility. I think we all have to understand that we are responsible for the environment, yeah. Every one of us. a small little thing that you do would, go a long way. And of course, employer of choice. If I were to tell my employers that, we have done this, we have done that, and, if the place is safe and everybody said, I mean, there's an employer of choice. Everybody would love working with you and be happy. And then that reduces the risk for employer and employee as well, and for future well-being, and of course, health. I put it at number 10. That does not mean that it's the last, but normally people don't want to hear about their health. They're talking about financial all the time. They want to know, how much money I got to spend. How much can I save? But I think health, money cannot buy. You wanted to say something, Mr. Helmy?
No, because at the end of the day, the medical bills will give you the answer.
Yes. And talking about medical bills, I mean, most of them would not go to the doctor if they don't have a headache. So what we are talking about, indoor air quality actually gives you headache, or perhaps, maybe breathing difficulties. But when you got little things like this, definitely you go to the doctor. When you go to the doctor, in other words, means money wasted. The company has to pay for, for going to the doctor. And for sure, that person will not come back to work. So productivity actually is lost. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is a guidance from our ministry, our local ministry, the Ministry of Health and the Sumber Manusia. It says the most effective ways to improve your home indoor air are to reduce or remove the sources of pollutants. Now, our services or our products actually goes to the source of the problem. It is not like a product where, you grow there, you come out, I kill you. So it's a continuous basis. In other words, means the source has not been eliminated. But what we do is we go to the source of the problem, we eliminate the source of the problem, right? And proper measures should also be considered to avoid mold growth due to the introduction of excessive humid air into the space. Now, Malaysia is a typical country where it is very tropical and humidity is very high. So what is humidity? Humidity, when it's high, it actually causes problems with the growth of bacteria, fungus, and more. That's the source of how bacteria can grow. It has to have moisture. So humidity is one sure way of, moisture for bacteria growing. Yeah. And then consider to use air cleaning technologies that is able to kill microbes in AHUs or ducting to augment MERV 14 filters. Efficacy and safety of all cleaning devices under the operating conditions must be considered. So I don't have to say any more about the products that you have to use. So try to use the safest product for yourself, for your equipment, and for the environment. Now, the Sustainable Development Goals. This is something which I don't want to really go into details, but I think probably I would like to discuss a little bit. As you can see, the SDGs, there are 17 sectors to it. For your information, I mean, we actually falls into most of the categories, or rather our enzyme-based products fall into most of the categories, directly or indirectly. Some are more direct, but some are direct, and then, it actually dominoes down to the indirect aspects of it. So it is very important. SDGs are the blueprint to achieve better and more sustainable future for all. It's also, say for example, like during this COVID or rather coronavirus pandemic, environmental ESG ratings considerations have increasingly become the new normal for all kinds of businesses and investments decisions. 2020 was not only the year of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was also the year that climate change made its presence felt with numerous types of disasters. it was as if Mother Nature was punishing the entire human race. People began to realize the possibility that climate change had a hand in the creation of new viruses. SARS-CoV-2, and we were all paying a high price for our past ignorance in polluting the environment in the course of getting on with our lives. Okay, this is just a quick one to show you, our references that we have been working on. This is the end of my presentation. Mr. Helmy, I'll pass it back to you. Mr. Helmy? I think we got a little technical error.
Because this is an approach, I would like to thank Mr. William for the very informative presentation.
Thank you.
Something that is very interesting, very environmental friendly, the usage of the multi-enzyme technology for the benefit of the people and also the environment. Now, this technology, I think, is something that is going to be appreciated, right, for the time that we are going to have, especially during this period of the pandemic background, and maybe for the future use, whereby when people get to know more about the importance of health and its relation with the environment. Now, there's a suggestion by Mr. Ali. He said that we may want you to make it more consumer friendly and easy to use for scale of reach. Because nowadays, even in Malaysia, the people are growing to awareness on ESG products, environmental safe products. Your product has a potential bigger market, but it should be more approachable for the common man. Any comments on this, William?
Sorry, I lost you, Mr. Helmy.
Yes, there's a comment regarding how to make this product more approachable in the market, because it seems that this product has a bigger potential in future years, or maybe when people are more aware of the environment. So would there be any initiatives to make it more approachable from Aristec?
Yes, of course. I mean, we are looking for credible companies that that we can work with, because I'm saying credible. I'm sorry, I don't mean to hurt anyone, but what I'm saying is that our products. I mean, there's an SOP, so it's very important that the SOP is followed, not just by guessing. Because our products, like there is say for example, you're going to clean a coil, how much product and then how much water that you're going to put in. So these are SOPs which is very crucial for the products to work well. Too much of it is wastage. Too little of it, it doesn't work. Right? So we are looking forward to anyone that that would like to, because I mean we're thinking of the future of Malaysia to start off. That is important to us now, because we are the bio-nexus status company under bioeconomy. So our products, I mean, by the virtue of us being given that award, our products are actually made in Malaysia and manufactured in Malaysia, so that we can say that this is an Australian-made product. So we really have to work and identify potential. It could be a distributor, it could be an applicator, it doesn't matter. We still can work with them. We're welcome to work with anyone.
So this is something to be used under a controllable environment, right? Not to be used because, as we said, recklessly, because it might cause wastages or might be not effective. Yeah?
Yes.
For the usage in the plants, or even in the environment at home, or even in their premises.
That's right.
All right. Yes. There's another one, maybe one final question, because I think we are running out of time. Okay, one final question. Okay. Now, when you complete your applications and considering that biofilms grow after 4 days, how much time does the enzymes remains active?
Okay. Now, what I'm trying to say is that if you use normal conventional way of cleaning it, actually do not remove the biofilms completely. All right. When you don't remove the biofilms completely, that means the jelly-like substance is still there. So what happens is, if you turn your air conditioning on, the dust that passes by will get stuck onto the biofilm, because biofilm is the anchor point for it to catch anything that passes by. So you will continue to grow again very, very quickly. But with the enzymes, it actually eliminates the smoothness of the substrate, where attachment is going to take a much longer time. And if you ask me when, how many days or how many months, I don't think I'm able to tell you that, because it depends on the area you are in. If you've got a lot of constructions going on, I mean, you have more debris going in, and then that will cause more problems. But definitely, with the conventional cleaning and our product, you can extend the lifetime of your cleaning regime.
So there are measures to be taken before the enzyme is applied to the microfilm and also the bacteria, right? Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Yes.
So I think we have come to the end of our session today, our webinar. Thank you once again to William Rodney Yo for the kind sharing of information with regards to the multi-enzyme technology through Aristech. I hope that if you have what do you call this, any questions pertaining this product, you can always go to the Aristech website. And perhaps Mr. Muhammad Nosani, right? Mr. Muhammad Nosani would like to have a few words. Mr. Muhammad Nosani? Yeah.
Dato Sani.
Dato, Mr. Dato Muhammad Nosani, yeah, would like to have a few words.
Oh, yes.
Dato, please.
Dato Sani,
can you please unmute, Dato? You need to unmute.
Hi, I'm struggling at the moment to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes. Loud and clear.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Sorry. Okay, I only need 3 or 4 minutes. First of all, William's company, Aristech, is part of a company which has been picked up and chosen by the Chemical Productivity Nexus under the ministry, under MPC, Malaysia Productivity Corporation, to introduce them to Malaysia. We have identified it as a product of great value, which needs proper introduction. It's a Malaysian company. It's talking about enzyme. It's got, as William has said, it's got hundreds of good use. It's currently an alternative to the current way of doing things. An alternative chemical which we can use, which is safe, which is easy, which is something which is sustainable, good for the environment, good for the operators, good for the equipment, and it's something that we want to help him promote himself. And this is one of the very few initiatives that we are going to do with Aristech. And I thank you, William. If you're hearing me, I can't see you at the moment. If you're hearing me, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. It's a wee bit long, but subjects like this, you need to introduce it properly. And well done. I think you've done a very good presentation. I find it invigorating. I've learned a few things as well. Needless to say, I know a lot about your product, but I've learned a few things as well today. And I think what is important at this juncture, there'll be a lot of people who hear, this is not something, a lot of them will be multinationals, who hear and get a little bit excited about this product, but I hope they will come back to you for more information, for more queries, for more inquiries and all that. And I would like to end it with that, to say let's support this initiative. It's a good initiative. It's a Malaysian, made in Malaysia initiative, and I think it's an initiative for the world. Now I noticed a number of people have asked you about whether you want to commercialize it in supermarkets and all that. I'm still a long way, but I think so far as at this juncture, we're hoping to get multinationals to look at it. Big corporations and multinational. They are the people who uses air conditioning a lot, and they are the people who I think if we can have a buy-in from these people, that we've got it big as a start. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, William.
Yep.
For a great.
Thank you, Dato.
Thank you
For the comment.
for hosting it, Mazwan
Right.
and me. And thank you to all listeners for taking time to listen. It's taking time to listen to a good product that's environmentally friendly. All right. Thank you, semua. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right. So thank you very much for the information given by Dato' Muhammad Noor. So once again, thank you to William and team for the presentation. I hope that this would be more beneficial, all right, for the process that you are undertaking in your various operations. And lastly, I hope that everybody will continue to stay safe, okay, stay healthy, lindung diri, lindung semua. With that, thank you very much and bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you all.
Bye. Thank you very much.